Hey everyone, this is John the Watch Concierge, and today I'm going to be doing a review of one of the watches I have from my collection, which is a Agelocer Special Pilot. And this is the North Carolina series, and it's got a lot of good things about it, I would say. And it comes with this box here, which is of course the outer cardboard part, and then you get this little information here about the movement for this particular watch, which is not the same watch that I have, but still interesting to have a outer cardboard box. And then you get this nice little I guess leather or fake leather box, but still really good quality and feels nicely done, and everything stitched up pretty well here. So then you get this inner part of the case, which is quite nice, really smooth, and yeah, it just feels like higher quality stuff, right? So not the typical box that you'll get with the Chinese watch. But yeah, you get the international warranty, you get the tag on here as well, and you also get the manual, but it also has some information about all the movements that you get with the different models that they have. So it's actually quite interesting if you take a look at what they have, and has things about like the movement decoration and basic parameters and all the good information that you'd like to be more informed about regarding the movements and the different models they have. So it's actually pretty interesting and well done for that. So as we take a look at this watch, we can see it has a beautiful blue, dark blue, marine blue colored dial with a sunburst effect, and it goes really well with this tan colored leather strap. You get a case size of 42 millimeters and a case thickness of 10 millimeters, which makes it sit very well on the wrist and does not pop out and look very big on the wrist. So it's a great size. And typically with pilots watches, you get 42, sometimes 44 millimeters case size. So it's kind of common, I would say, with a pilot style watch. And you got a nice big onion style crown. You get very nicely done finishing to the case. You can see on the side of the case is brushed with some beveling going on here from one point of the lug to the other side of the lug, and top of the lugs here are brushed. You can also see that the bezel is polished on the sides, or as it goes around on the side of the bezel, you can see all around on this lower part of the side is polished, whereas the top is brushed. And it's just some very nice finishing on a Chinese watch that sometimes you don't get with other watches out there, or they're not done to this level. And this is maybe why they might charge a higher price, is that they have more attention to detail, I would say, compared to a lot of other brands out there. But still, I would say some of their prices are just overinflated and too pricey. I don't even know how they manage to sell any watches with the prices that they have. However, I bought this a year or two, maybe even 3 years ago, and I got this watch for a very good price of about 1,600 crowns, which is around maybe like $150, $145 perhaps. And right now you can't find this watch being sold from the Agelocer official store, but you can still find from other stores out there, but it's not, I don't know how reliable they are, and since it's not the official store, you know, I can't really say I'd recommend. And well, it's just too pricey. Also, the prices that they have on there, you can't find anything that's a reasonable price for this watch. So again, this is the Agelocer Special Pilot North Carolina series. Reference number, as you can see here, I believe this is the reference number for this watch, which is A511159. And as we look here to the back, the case back, you can see it's got an exhibition case back with a very nicely finished movement, neatly decorated. And this is not a common movement you'll come across too often on most other Chinese brands and their watches. I'm not exactly sure which movement this is, but you can clearly tell it's been decorated with their logo and everything, and maybe they even modified it. It could be in-house movement, or it could be some other movement that they've kind of modified it and made it a little bit different. You can see the Côte de Genève guilloche feature right there along the movement, which adds an extra nice touch to the movement and the attention to detail. So it's a lovely movement to take a look at, and caliber is A3350. You can find more information also, as I mentioned before, in the instruction manual. You can actually just take a look, as they have more information about the movement and the caliber for the different models that they have. So this one is the one that we have. It's the same one, this is the 3550. So we're looking at the 3350, which is this one right here. So display, center, hour, hand, and minute right there. So okay, so that's easy. As you can see, it does have a screw-in crown, which I can talk about more because I do have to mention something about that. And yeah, so crown. What about the movement? Let's see more about the movement. Yes, here. So basic parameters: self-winding, 27 joules, diameter 26 millimeters, and 40-hour power reserve, 21,600 vibrations per hour. And the movement decoration here is what is saying: rhodium treated with haute horlogerie finishing, chamfering and polished edges, fine circular graining and Côte de Genève gold lettering, blue screws, and mirror polished screws. It's saying 27 joules, but I swear I just saw it. It was 21. So let's see if that's correct. Where does it say? Oh no, it is 27. For some reason I thought I saw 21. Yeah, it's 27. Okay. So there's the balance wheel. Again, very nicely decorated movement. You get around the case back here, you get the automatic, you get the little plane, you get the North Carolina also engraved on there, Agelocer, and then finally the reference number. And you get these very interesting holes here that you can use to unscrew and screw in the case back, which makes it quite easy if you have the right tool. Going back to the front side here, you got a very legible dial, very big numbers and hands as well. On the sub-dial as well, you get a nice big hand for that sub-dial seconds. And I believe they have a good amount of lume. I mean, just looking at the size, the big white numbers and everything on the hand, just looks like they have a good amount of lume. We'll take a look at that soon, but this date is really one thing I've noticed that is just fantastic is just having a date that's nicely legible like this, that is very big but also not big and bold and kind of messy. It's very clean, so it's easily one of the best dates I've seen on a watch. And since I mentioned, I wanted to talk about the crown. So it's a screw-in crown, but one thing I don't like about this crown, it doesn't really feel feels quite loose, as you can tell. I can easily change the time and the date, but it just feels like it's sort of loose. This is not the feeling I want to get. I want to feel something more firm and tight, I would say. So this is not the right feeling I want to get from the hands, right? So I mean, it moves quite easily, so it's not, that's the thing, it doesn't feel like it has much resistance, which sometimes you do want, even if it's just to change the time. Of course, you want some resistance when winding, because you want to know eventually when you've wounded it to the full potential of the watch, so you don't want to overwind, and so that's why you get the resistance once you have it fully wound. So, but yeah, the crown just feels a little bit too loose to me, and I'll just put that back and can fix the time later and the date. But besides that, everything else with this watch is just fantastic. Everything nicely finished all around. And you get sapphire crystal, 100 meters water resistant, and straps are also good quality. You get the Agelocer there, and you also get the quick release function, which is nice. And you can also see right there the attention to detail on the buckle, which you get the cool little flower logo that they have. But yeah, good quality, genuine leather strap. Of course, I think there's better quality straps out there, but this is definitely not the worst strap I've had. So as you can see, the bottom part of the dial, you get the Arabic numerals, whereas the top part you get Roman numerals, and this part here on the 12, which is an A, I'm not exactly sure, or it's an arrow, I guess. I'm not exactly sure what it represents, but I'm sure it does have to do with being a pilot's watch. I know that these two dots right there are also kind of very common to find on pilot's watches. I don't know exactly what the symbol representation is, but I know that it's common. And you can also find other pilot watches with kind of this split up numbers, part of it being Roman numerals and the other part being Arabic numerals. And at the 6, you get the same kind of marker or indice that you get on the 9. So it's horizontal, right? So it's not vertical like you typically expect on other watches, but because it's a pilot's watch, I think they have these different kind of things that you'll notice on the dial. And you also have a very nicely done kind of outer part of the dial serving as the minute markers here that complement really well with the rest of the dial. So the big hands are also something that I like seeing, and they seem to have plenty of lume, so we'll take a look at that right now actually. All right, so looks like BGW9. However, it's not that strong, and it probably doesn't last that long either. But you can see you got this, it's still pretty bright out, so I guess it's a little bit hard to tell, but from what I can see here in person, it doesn't seem like it's that strong of a lume, or at least it doesn't last, it doesn't look like it'll last too long. So I guess the big white numbers and the big white hands, or at least the white lume part on the hands, they kind of just trick you to thinking that this watch is just full of lume on the numbers and everything. So it's unfortunate, but still a good watch, and definitely worth the price that I paid for it, which again was 1,600 kroners or crowns, which is probably around $150, I think, right now. Might have been something different before at the time when I paid for it. So it's something I'll have to look it up. I'll try to find the links, and I'll add the links to this watch that you can buy, although as I mentioned before, it's quite pricey because they're not from the official store, so it's from some other stores that you can find, but the price is just not something I would really say is something I would recommend to pay for this watch. So it's up to you whether you want to buy or not for that price, or you can wait and see if the price goes down eventually, but I'll add the link to the description and you can make that choice. I think that's it about this watch, and just make sure to subscribe, like. If you have any questions, feel free to send it my way. You can also comment something in the comment section and DM me on Instagram if you have anything to say or any questions. Please let me know, and make sure to check out all the other videos on my channel. Share this video with your friends, and thank you for watching. I'll see you guys next time. Take care.